All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called A Christmas Carol, 1951. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I thought I was going to hate this flick. I've never been a real fan of Charles Dickens. I always thought he was a bleeding heart, and I always admired misers like Scrooge. But Scrooge does have one flaw, and that is he hates religion in general and Christmas in particular. He keeps saying humbug. Alistair Sim, to me, is the ideal Scrooge in the movies. At least that's what I've heard. That's what I've read. And this movie wasn't actually popular in the United States as a movie. It was more popular when it played on television later on, after its theatrical run here in the U.S., but it was very, very popular in the U.K. So that's a little history. You got Patrick Mcnee, who's kind of an odd fellow. He used to try to proselytize his fellow actresses into playing nude tennis with him. Which isn't a bad idea, but it probably freaked them out, even during the 60s, man. In this one, he plays I think he plays the young Marlowe. Yeah, he does. He plays the young Marlowe. And he's only in it for like 5 minutes. Everything happens so fast. We don't get too much background into Bob Cratchit's family. And, I'd forgotten this whole story until I saw the movie. Quite honestly. Like I said, I've never been a fan of Charles Dickens. I never got what he was trying to say, really. And that is... you can't worship material things, even if you are a miser, and it serves the public good by keeping down inflation. You have to think about other things like religion and Christmas, for instance. Probably Adrian will disagree with me on that, but anyways, I got a couple more discs. I didn't get Shanghai Noon yet, but maybe I did. It's just waiting in my mailbox as I speak here. I'm reporting to you from the war zone again. The manager here was ticking me off, but I'll tell you about that later. Here's Swept Away. This looks like a communist turd movie. I don't even know how it got on my queue, but probably Audra Handow mentioned it, or recommended it, I should say. This Italian commie flick. You can see the Kino Lorber logo on there. Below the middle circle there. Kino Lorber. And, yeah, she was this native, flat-chested, single mama. She didn't tell me she had 2 kids until, like, right before I stopped talking to her. And she still posted comments on my channel, though. She was kind of like, my coworker at the time said she was like a, I can't think of the name. But, anyway, she wanted me to go to Indiana to meet with her because she's like a necromaniac or something. She's this vegan leftist lady. She hated living in Indiana because she hated Mike Pence, who was governor at that time. She thought he was a right winger or something. And then her dad died right when I bought the plane ticket, so I had to cancel the plane ticket. I couldn't get a refund. And And she said, "You can't come here. My dad passed away," which is understandable, but I don't know. Too bad. I missed out on some depravity. She was also she said that I had Asperger or some kind of autism, which is what the head shrinker couldn't conclude based on the tests that he gave me after I got divorced. He said it all depends on my my schooling, which is highly doubtful. So I've never properly been diagnosed with autism, but she seems to think I have. She's very judgmental in that regard, and I'm very judgmental when it comes to single mothers. I've married 2 of them and divorced 2 of them, so so there goes that YouTube fan. She hasn't been hanging around for years. Maybe she died from the COVID jab. Who knows? Maybe she got hit by a bus, for all I know. But she thought it would be really cool if I reviewed Chapey, which I did years later. She said her son would like that for me to review that movie. I didn't really care for it all that much. I think the guy who did District 9 kind of started going downhill after that. But I haven't seen his horror movie. He was supposed to be doing a horror movie recently. That looks pretty interesting. Anyways, getting back to A Christmas Carol. Okay. So it starts out kind of slow, but it's very fast-paced. I know that sounds self-contradictory, but you don't get to see much of Bob Cratchit's family, really. And Alistair Sim is a reason to watch, especially when he's like, the look on his face of sheer terror when he sees the spirits showing him like a movie reel. It's like Tabernathy Ibogae drug sequence playing a movie of your life before your very eyes. But anyways, so Scrooge plays the miserly thing. He hates the human race. He thinks there are too many humans in the world, and he only cares about his business. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't care about his employees, or kind of like the place that I work in South San Francisco or here. So last night I get a 15-stop route. It was supposed to go to one of the contractors because it was kind of all over East Bay and Mid-Peninsula. A lot of driving, okay? So I get to my second stop. I'm running about 5 minutes late, which is like nothing. It's like being on time. But not according to the manager here. So he sends a relief driver, and the relief driver takes 3 stops, which would have taken me all of 20 minutes. I could have finished at 9. I told him this morning, but I finished at 8:40 instead. And he just says, correct. So then he gets another relief driver this morning. I don't know what his... I tried to explain to him that if I have 8 stops from 6 to 8, and then he brings it down to 3 stops, then I'm just going to be sitting there for an hour from 7 to 8 because I don't have anything to deliver. So they're just paying me to sit around. So I explained that to him twice, and he said, yes. And that's probably the reason why this company won't go public anytime soon. Because of business decisions like that and managers like that here. I'm sure I'm not the only one who complains about the management, though. But this guy is just... he's just goofy. It's just beyond sadistic. It's just plain goofy. And on the disc that I showed you in my last video, Scrooge has a sadistic smile on his face. Kind of reminds me of some of the managers here in my other job. But I showed you Swept Away. Now I'll show you Chopping Mall. I didn't get Shanghai Noon yet, but like I said, it's probably sitting in my mailbox as we speak. And I only got 4 hours of sleep last night, but I don't look tired because I have my sunglasses on. I still got 5 and 3/4 hours sleep. There's Chopping Mall. Not much going on there. Not much artwork, but you can see the Lionsgate Home Entertainment logo. And the FBI anti-piracy warning, which my son thinks intellectual property shouldn't even be a thing. Just let them do it like they do in China. That's kind of ironic because my son hates communism, but China doesn't take piracy seriously or intellectual property too seriously. I should say. Anyways, getting back to Mcnee is the introduces and closes out the movie, and he sounds like he's into Christianity or Christmas. Probably because his family made him do it, given his bizarre nudism fetish. But I don't know much about Patrick Mcnee other than he was in the Avengers and Waxwork 2. But he calls this movie Scrooge for some reason. So Scrooge is doing his humbug thing, and he decides to take a little nappy poo, and he starts seeing these 3 spirits. That's when you see the cool looking time clock and the LSD trip sequence in black and white. This movie is in glorious black and white, by the way. It's not too long. I think it's... I'll have to go back and check, but I think it's less than an hour and a half. Like most movies during the 50s. And so you don't get too much background into Bob Cratchit's family. I don't know how close it is to the book because I never read the book unless I read it in grade school and I forgot it. But anyways, so Scrooge sees the ghost of Bob, the ghost of Jacob Marley. Why did I say Bob? I keep thinking of Bob Marley. Jacob Marley. He's got the chains going, and he's telling Scrooge to be good, or he's going to end up like Jacob Marley in the afterlife. Then he's visited by the spirit of Christmas past. So he sees all of the mistakes that he made, being too materialistic, I guess, and not caring for other people, including but not limited to his sister and his girlfriend at the time. He's more concerned about business, sort of like my second wife. But anyways, my son knows all about that. It's hard to get her attention when she's at work. She's like the Ebenezer Scrooge of the female version of Ebenezer Scrooge, my ex-wife, my son's mother. And so there's that. That's what happens when you worship money too much, I guess. Although being greedy and being a miser in and of itself is not bad. It's just the bad thing is that Scrooge keeps saying humbug every time somebody wishes him Merry Christmas. and so the second spirit is the ghost of Christmas present. So this spirit shows Scrooge what a great time the Cratchit family is having, despite their Tiny Tim having to walk on a crutch, and then not having much money. They have a big family, and they enjoy spending time together, which is important during Christmas. But unfortunately, I don't have any family left except for my son. So he's the only one I see, and he likes to play on his iPad while I watch Netflix. That's our Christmas together. But I do give him gifts, and I think I'm going to give him beef jerky this year. He really likes beef jerky. Maybe I'll get him some Tuttle Twins books, stuff that he hasn't read yet, because he likes to read. That's one thing his mother forced him to do, is reading, among other things like playing the piano and stuff. But so she's not all a bad person. I think she just my son is more willing to do stuff like play the piano than his half sister is. But getting back to the movie again. Okay, the third spirit is the spirit of Christmas future, and so this spirit is showing Scrooge how people are scorning him after he dies. So he's terrified. He's got a look of pure terror on his face. Like I said, Alistair Sim is a great actor. I can't remember what other movie he is in, but that's because I'm tired. And so he wakes up. He's like dancing around. He can go from Alistair Sim can go from a look of pure terror to a look of pure joy on his face when he finds out that his Christmas Day he's still alive, and he's going to make the most of it from now on. He redeemed himself by watching little mini movies of his life. And then Tiny Tim says something poignant at the end. I think Patrick Mcnee liked it. So pretty cool flick. Highly recommended. Check it out. I'll see if I can post the movie and the trailer in the description box, and hopefully I can get through Swept Away today, so I can get to Shopping Mall first thing tomorrow morning. Killbots. Cool. So yeah, I think I'm going to take a 4-hour nap right now. I got the ashwagandha was telling Adrian about ashwagandha, and I gave some to my son. I showed my coworkers who were utterly disinterested. They thought it was like some kind of weird herb, like cannabis or something. And I showed my former best friend, my son's other godmother, who moved to Dallas, probably to go work for Southwest. But yeah, there's another woman who prefers career over family. Oh, must be a Chinese thing. Anyways, because both of them are Chinese, my ex-wife and my former best friend, my son's other godmother. Whatever. I can't force her to be my wife. Although I'd like to. I wish I was a vampire or something. But Lugosi. Anyways, I'll let you go. Got lots of reviews to do tomorrow, if I can fit them in later.